We begin at 6 with breaking news. Chaos at a farm in Camarillo. Tear gas deployed. A scrimmage line formed and protesters clashing with federal agents following an immigration operation. And at one point in the middle of the chaos, one person even jumped on the hood of a government car as the crowd scattered around them. And about 15 minutes ago, protesters were seen following or throwing objects at government vehicles. You can see it right there. Desmond Shaw is live in SkyCal, and he's going to kick off our live team coverage at 6. Des, there is still a crowd out there.
Yes, I'm going to show the crowd in a second, Pat, but I've been focused on this, what we believe may be the last group of trucks. It's kind of in the center of the farm where all of these actions have taken place today off of Laguna Road between Pleasant Valley and Wood Road, seeing if they're going to be leaving shortly, and if they are, if they're going to try to alter their plans to avoid what just happened a couple of moments ago. And we can't show you that when we witnessed the vans trying to avoid protesters, but the protesters seeing them in the distance, all the dirt being kicked up on the road and coming and meeting them and throwing rocks at the windshield, actually shattering a couple of driver's side windows and one of the windshields as well. And we witnessed them driving away on Pleasant Valley Road. They were headed southbound as though they were either headed towards Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu or towards the Point Mugu military base. It's unclear. So we're keeping an eye on those trucks and on the protesters here off of Pleasant Valley and Laguna Road as well. We know that 4 people today in unknown condition. There has definitely been a little bit of back and forth, some water bottles being thrown and then tear gas being kicked back and forth as well. A few protesters also being detained. No word of any serious injuries here, but within the last couple of hours or so, I would say that things have been pretty calm, although you can see that all the officers that are out here now have ballistic shields. That's something that pretty new we hadn't seen until recently. But this is where the bulk of the protesters are now, off of Laguna and Pleasant Valley Road, and we'll see how much longer this goes on. It's been going on now for about 6 hours. Live in SkyCal overhead, I'm Desmond Shaw. Pat, back to you in the studio.
Okay, Desmond, I'm sure we'll be getting back to you before this newscast half hour is over. So thanks so much for that reporting. And now let's get right to our Lauren Pozen. She's live on the ground in Camarillo. And Lauren, walk us through what's happening now and what led up to all of it.
Well, Pat, we just got information from the Department of Homeland Security that agents were serving a warrant this morning at this farm. I asked how many people were detained. They did not answer that question. As far as right here, it's really been up and down. With the last 10 minutes or so, just before we were getting ready for the 6 o'clock news, there was some sort of scuffle in the front there. There's National Guard members. They're in lines in the front there, and you see the protesters in the in front of them. And I did see water bottles being thrown at the National Guard, and then people telling other people, don't give in, don't do that. And then something happened where a big group they crowded around. It looked like one man, and then they walked all the way up here, and there was screaming and a lot of yelling going on. And then as the man walked off, that dissipated. Again, it's been very up and down here on the ground. It's peaceful in the sense we don't have tear gas being thrown, but people are very upset about what is happening here. I spoke with one man as he was walking in, and he said, I was seeing this on TV and I had to come down and do something to help. Again, this all started just after 11 o'clock this morning. Federal agents raided the Glass House Farms on Laguna Road. This is just outside Camarillo. Okay, I want to acknowledge what's going on here. A woman is on a megaphone saying, do not let these people come in, block it off. And that is because there is the National Guard is right over there. Greg, let's flip the camera if we can show everybody at home. This is what they're telling them not to let them in. And I think I see what Desmond was talking about, those ballistic shields in the back of that truck there. So these protesters are not letting these cars come in here. Now, in fairness, you can see how many cars are here. It's pretty packed here. It's a tight squeeze. So I don't even know if they could make it through, but that is what is that is just what happened. Back to the people that are here, back to the raid rather. We saw dozens of people detained. Some were loaded onto the U.S. Marshal buses and then driven away. Word of this immigration raid spread really fast, and then people came out to protest, and that's when things got really heated. There was a tense standoff between agents and protesters. I asked one woman who was here earlier if there were any warnings given about an unlawful assembly. That's usually what we hear in these situations. According to her, she said no. She says agents agents started firing tear gas and using less lethal rounds to push the crowds back. Several people did get hurt. Ventura County Fire says 4 people were taken to the hospital. 3 others were treated and released. This farm, if you're not aware, is one of the largest licensed cannabis farms in the state of California, with over 5 million square feet of growing space, and protesters say the people detained are hardworking individuals.
Raiding factories, or raiding the fields, or raiding schools, and it's just not right. I can't just sit and watch it happen. It could be my family. I'm Hispanic. I'm in the middle. But I just got lucky with getting my citizenship. It's just not right.
Just to push us out, they started tear gassing us, and it burns really bad. We're not really doing anything but fighting for what's right.
They're afraid to work. They're afraid, it's in between providing for their families and going to work, and they have no choice. They have to come out.
Within the hour, a spokesperson for the governor issued a statement saying, in part, these immigration actions are hurting hardworking families, especially farm workers, instead of supporting those who drive our economy. The tactics are causing fear and chaos. Again, back out here live, you see all the group of protesters over there in the distance there. They're met up with members of the National Guard, and beyond them is a caravan of other National Guard members there. Again, Pat, the only way I can describe it up here is it goes in waves, up and down of emotions. And from my understanding and talking to people here, they have no plans on leaving anytime soon. I am still working and getting numbers as to how many people were detained from that video we just saw. It looks like quite a lot of people were detained. We're working on getting those numbers, and as soon as I get them for you, I'll let you know. Reporting live in Camarillo, Lauren Pozen, KCAL News.
Lauren, a very fluid situation out there, that's for sure. We know at some point those bans are going to have to get through. And, hopefully it will be in a uniform way, and we won't see the violence and clashes that we've seen. All right, thank you for that, Lauren.